What's up guys? Today we're taking a look at a new all-in-one kit from BetaFPV that comes with absolutely everything you need to fly FPV. Alright guys, so this is the new Aquila16 FPV kit from BetaFPV. If you're just starting out with FPV and don't have any gear, or you're looking to get an FPV kit as a gift for someone, this is one you'll definitely want to take a look at. This all-in-one kit is selling for $250 and has some solid stuff packed in here. Not only do you get all the drone gear you need to fly, but you also get this nice case to keep it all in. Opening this up, over on this side we have the drone right here. Up above that, we have a little pouch, and this has a bunch of things in it. We have a USB-C cable, and this is going to be used to charge the goggles and the controller. We have two batteries, and the batteries that came with mine are 1100 milliamp batteries, but you can also get this in 600 milliamp if you want to fly the drone like a freestyle drone. You get a charger for the batteries, and since these batteries are a little unique, you get a little adapter on here. So to charge it, what you do is plug this end here, and then this end would plug in here. And the cool thing about these testers is when you plug it in, it's going to tell you the voltage. So when this is at 4.2, it's going to tell you that the battery is fully charged. If it's any lower than 4 volts like this one is, you pretty much have to charge it. And you also get a bag with a screwdriver, prop removal tool, some spare props, and probably some screws in there too. Now over on this side, we have our goggles and our controller. So you guys can see this a little bit better, taking it out of the box, and we'll kind of go piece by piece. The goggles that come in this kit are BetaFPV's VR03 goggles. I have a couple sets of these goggles now, and the best part about goggles like these is that it has an integrated battery, and it has a micro SD card slot over on this side so you can record your flights. To charge these, all you have to do is plug in the included USB-C port to this plug right here, and your goggles will start charging. To turn the goggles on, you have a power switch right here. Flick that, and this screen should turn on. Looking at the top of the goggles, we have a record button right here, so if you want to start recording your flights, you're going to need to put an SD card in over on this side, and then you click this and it'll start recording your flight. And then these buttons right here are going to be used to navigate the menu and change the channel. You shouldn't have to change the channel because the goggles should come already bound up to the drone. Taking a look at the controller that's in this kit, this is BetaFPV's Light Radio 2 SE, and this has a built-in ELRS module. This controller is also surprisingly solid. It has ELRS built in, so you'll be able to use it with additional FPV drones that have ELRS 2.4 gigahertz on it. Another awesome feature with this controller is the compatibility with FPV simulators. So you can go download Liftoff or FPV Freerider on your computer, and if you want to practice flying, you just plug this into a computer using the USB port, and you can use this with a simulator. So that's a nice feature. Up top, we have two 3-position switches right here. These are going to be used to control the mode and the speed of the drone. And then we have two 2-position switches further back. So this one right here is going to be used to arm the drone, and then this one is going to be used for turtle mode. And what turtle mode is if you land the drone upside down, you'll be able to flick this switch, and then you can flip this, and the drone is just going to flip over. All right, now taking a closer look at the drone itself. I think the most notable thing about this drone is the battery design. So this is the battery that comes with it. This is an 1100. They also sell this form factor battery in 600 milliamps, and you'd want to use the 600 milliamps if you want to fly this drone like a freestyle and like, you know, do flips and stuff. This one is going to be more so for cruising, and you should get up to 8 minutes with this battery. We're going to test the flight time in a little bit, but yeah. With this drone, you're going to have to use the Aquila16 exclusive battery like this. This battery just slides on top of the drone like this. You can kind of line it up like that. And then as soon as you push it on, it's going to turn on. There's no power button or anything. You just, as soon as you plug it in, it's going to turn on. You have these LEDs on the side right here. And when I put it down, it should stop blinking. So now it's flashing yellow. When I turn the controller on, click and hold, you'll notice that this changes color. That's solid blue, and now that's solid blue. So now this is all armed up, and if we put the goggles on, this should be already bound up to the drone. So there's our video signal. Perfect. So yeah, all of this is already bound up. If you wanted to arm the drone, you use this switch right here. So this switch right over here is for normal mode, sport mode, or manual mode. If you want to do flips, have it in manual mode. If you're a beginner, have it in normal. If you're somewhere in between, put it in between in sport mode. I'm gonna mainly keep this in my testing in manual mode, and then speed-wise, I'm gonna have it in fast, but if you're just starting out, keep that in slow. If you're just starting out, just have both of these down. If you know what you're doing, have them all the way up. So we've got some nice beginner-friendly modes built right into this thing, as well as a sensor underneath that's actually gonna assist in position hold in case this is your first drone. All right, so let's take this thing out and see how well it flies and how durable it is. This is probably the first drone that I've tested where I actually really want to put durability to the test. Typically smaller drones like this are pretty durable. This one feels pretty thick, so I don't know, I just really want to test durability with it. So I'm gonna fly this up really high and I'm just gonna drop it. It's a beginner drone and beginners are gonna crash, so I want to put this through a pretty good crash and see if it survives. All right, let's check the durability on this thing. What the hell was that? All right. There we go. I'm gonna just cut it. All right, so it's pretty durable. The tune might not be the greatest, but whoa, what the hell is that? Okay, all right. I gotta say, it is pretty durable. It's got some weird wobbles, and I don't know if that'd go away if you were using. What the hell is that? What was that? Yeah, you can't really freestyle with this thing. Nope. Nope. All right, I just got back from testing this thing, and it's time to give you guys my honest thoughts. Let's start with the good stuff. First off, this drone is incredibly durable. Kits like this that are meant for beginners, they have to be durable. If you're just starting out, you're gonna crash. So this was one of the main tests that I wanted this thing to pass, and it passed. Even after that drop, I crashed a couple more times and the thing continued to fly fine. Second thing I really like about this is I was getting close to 8-minute flight times with the 1100 milliamp battery, which is pretty good for an FPV drone like this. Typically, you're gonna see somewhere around 4 to 5 minute flight times with a drone this size. So seeing 8-minute flight times is really nice. The third thing I like, you get everything you need in the box, and the equipment is pretty solid and is gonna work with future FPV drones. This set of goggles right here and even this controller, I could bind both of these up with this 5-inch freestyle drone and go fly it. So not only is the equipment usable with other FPV drones, but the controller works with simulators, and if you're new to FPV, simulators are gonna help you get better at flying, and you don't have to worry about ruining your drone equipment in the process. The last thing that I wanna make sure that I mention that I liked about this drone is that it can get some really good speed, and it seemed to have pretty good range. All right, real talk. Let's go over the things that I don't like about this. The tune on this thing is pretty damn bad for outdoor manual flight. I was flying in winds that were almost non-existent. It was less than 5 miles an hour and the drone was just going all over the place. Not only that, but there was some pretty severe wobble that a couple of times actually downed the quad. I was able to fly away from each crash, but it was pretty tough to control this thing in manual mode. Even though the tune on this drone doesn't perform the best outside, when I tested the drone indoors with no wind at all, it flew much better. Something else I don't like about this, it's not running BetaFlight or software where you have full manual control over the thing, so you don't have a lot of control over the tune on this. In order to adjust any of the internal settings or tune on it, you have a plug down here, and then this plugs into a USB, which is cool. You get an external USB, but then you can't connect it to BetaFlight, and you have to use BetaFPV's configurator. And the settings that they offer in that program are very limiting. The last thing that I'm really not a fan of is the battery design. I think that this just really limits the batteries that you could use with this drone. I have tons of these BetaFPV 550, 450, 1S LiPos that I would love to test with this thing. If I was able to use one of these, I would have been able to see how it flies with freestyle. But even though it's the same exact BT 2.0 connector, there's no way to secure this battery to the drone so that you can actually use these batteries. You could have the little pigtail that you use to charge these ones attached to this battery and then plugged in, but then there's no way to secure this battery to the top of the drone or underneath it or anything. It would have been nice if they included like a little cutout where you could put a rubber band or some type of strap or something so you could use batteries like this, but that doesn't exist, so you're kind of stuck using this battery design right here. So in conclusion, there's things I like about this kit and there's things that I don't really like about it. For me personally, I like to be able to tune my drones, I like to use as many of my LiPos as I can, and I like to fly in full manual mode. If that sounds like you probably already have a controller and you probably already have a set of goggles, and you'd probably just be better off getting something like BetaFPV's Meteor 75. But if you're someone who's completely new to FPV and you're not really sure where to start, you don't have any equipment and just want something to experiment with and to learn with, I think that this kit is one that you should definitely look at. The thing's incredibly durable, you've got some nice beginner-friendly modes on it, you even have a sensor on the bottom of the drone, and it just comes with everything you need. Plus, this drone gets pretty damn good flight time and range. So that's going to do it for this review, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more FPV content. Leave this video a like, and if you have any questions about the Aquila, I don't know how to say it, I'm probably butchering this name. If you have any questions about this kit, leave a comment down below.